In case anyone becomes distrustful of anyone named Mitsuko after this video, remember, there's still Matsuko. Hola! Today we'll be talking about the manga Jisatsu Saakuru or Suicide Circle. It is a 2002 one-shot by the one and only Furuya Usamaru. It is based on a movie of the same name, which also came out in 2002. Now I have to say, I really like Furuya and also the director of the movie, Sono Shion. I did in fact watch the movie at some point. I think it's now like 10 years ago, so I don't remember it that well. So I'll be talking exclusively about the manga. And by the way, when Sono contacted Furuya about the adaptation, he said that it's actually fine if the manga doesn't follow the plot of the movie exactly, so they are different, and if you like one of these, maybe watch or read the other as well. And before we start, I hope the title of this video is indication enough of what kind of stuff we'll be dealing with here, but just in case, a little trigger warning. There will be talk of suicide, self-harm, and other things of that nature. The story starts with a bunch of schoolgirls entering a train station. They seem to be in good spirits as they're smiling and talking. The amount of them, however, seems a bit confusing to the people around them, especially when they witness what's happening next. The girls proceed to the train station and form a chain holding each other's hands. They're excited to get some attention from the bystanders and just smile on. But then as the train approaches, they jump onto the tracks, excited as if jumping into a pool. Obviously, they all get hit by the train and their bodies are scattered all over the tracks. One girl, however, emerged as the sole survivor of this event, crying out for a girl called Mitsuko. 1 month passes and we're at a school, on the rooftop to be exact. There we can see Saya, the girl that survived the mass suicide, cutting her arm. She's being scolded by her best friend Kyoko for this. Saya tells her friend how upset she is that she didn't die, even though that Mitsuko said so. They exchange a shared diary, something they've been doing for 10 years. Their friendship started way back and they've been very close ever since they were kids. In the past, they had a lot of fun together and were just bright kids. But then Saya's father started having some mental problems and Saya started becoming more and more depressed, while at the same time she started going on dates for money, obviously. And she filled the diary with obscure things and dark thoughts. But then everything changed when she met a mysterious girl called Mitsuko. And the diary would become dedicated to stories of her. At the same time, a gossip website started noticing Saya and talking about her, since she was the only survivor of that tragedy. At first, they were just talking about her appearance, you know, that she's cute and rather not great stuff, but like normal stuff. But then it starts becoming more and more cult-like, and yeah, a sort of movement starts forming around her. While all of this happens, her best friend tries desperately to get through to her, but Saya just won't listen. The gossip site, meanwhile, is getting more and more obsessed with Saya, and they also started to call her Mitsuko, and that Mitsuko isn't aware of who she was yet. We then learn that Saya was part of a club with Mitsuko at the center of it. And this club was actually a suicide club. Mitsuko would recruit depressed and vulnerable girls for her club, promising them an end to their suffering by, of course, dying. And now Saya is about to follow in her footsteps by becoming the new Mitsuko. This is a one-shot, so I don't want to give everything away in this video, so what do we think? As you know, works that tackle social issues always intrigue me, and as a fan of both the director and the author, I knew what I was getting myself into, and of course I liked it. While reading it, the story didn't get to me emotionally at first. That is until I read the end. Since I don't want to spoil the story, I can't give away too much info, but at the end I just felt the weight of everything that happened and also the love the two friends have for each other. There's a lot going on in this manga, and it makes you feel as if the world was just a terrible place, like through and through. And not a lot of manga are able to capture this feeling or portray it effectively, at least in my opinion. Because oftentimes, when trying to make it a point that everything sucks, stories can just get over the top and end up feeling out of touch. Of course, different people will have different opinions on this, but for me, this manga did a better job at it than many others. Saya's problems are relatable. Many people who can't find stability in their home life turn to self-harm, sex, drugs, so on, to somehow cope with everything. The many problems young people, or especially girls, face are rather well portrayed in this manga, I think. You're basically a child, but adults who should know better can and will exploit you. And you know, in your mind, your family already let you down, so obviously everybody else will too. If you're not careful, things are gonna spiral out of control and you will have the feeling that they're just gonna get worse from here on. Kyoko, Saya's best friend, can't do anything about it. All she can do is watch her best friend become mad with pain. And that is also a terrible situation, being on the other side of it. Your life might be fine, but somebody else you love is in danger. It's another special form of hell. But I really like that it's another girl that's trying to save Saya and not just some boy. And you know, that they didn't make it like romantic thing. It reminds us that not everything can be solved by falling in love. And that oftentimes our most intimate relationships are those we have with our friends. The art is obviously gorgeous. I mean, what else do you expect from Furia? This manga received some mixed reviews in Japan. One person on Amazon rating it 1 star, saying that she didn't really get it and that Sono is a sexist and maybe all the boys will like it. I heavily disagree with this review. In fact, I believe that generally, probably girls will like this more rather than boys. I mean, I don't know, but female friendship and femininity play a big role in this story, as well as the love and the hate that girls can have for each other. They're big themes, so I personally don't see the reviewer's point at all. Others have more positive things to say. One reviewer even saying that it made them rethink society and the dangers that girls face in it. Furuya actually mentions this himself in the edition I got, at least. And there he said that he actually wanted to bring attention to this. Of course, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Fans of Furuya will enjoy this at least for the art, if not for the story, which isn't his own and also not very typical for him. So if you read this manga, please let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't, I hope you check it out. The ending made me really sad, which I didn't expect. And overall, I like this manga and I hope you do too. But that is it for this week. I hope everybody has a great day and I'll see you next week. Bye bye!